The Space Payload Qualification Facilities grant provides an Australian company or research institution with $2.5 million for the development of space payload qualification facilities to meet the needs of the Australian space industry. So we're heading off to space. Let's have a look at the grant application to look at some of the aspects that you might want to pick up on. So the main part with any grant is the assessment criteria. Everything else is a nice to have. You talk about the project, the budget, but it's really going to come down to the assessment criteria, because that is what you are assessed against. That is what they score you. So, and the main one of all of them is always the first one. So the first one is about, what you're going to do. The second part is about who you are. And then the third one is, what would you do without the funding, which in this case is probably nothing at all. So the main thing to look at here is, and let's have a quick read of it. So you want to be improving the Australian space payload qualification and provide information that demonstrates how your project will increase niche or unique level 2 or 3 qualification capacity and capability in Australia. So I have no idea what that means, but you people that are filling this out will know what that means. But in the guidelines, there is a section that provides more about that. So download the grant information, and then if you go down there, you will find the niches. So they've done an audit about what Australia is good at and where the gaps are and the need for it. So this is responding to that need, and so what they're looking for is assurance. So the level 2 is assurance of basic in-orbit performance, which includes the pyroshock, thermal vacuum, mass properties, ionizing radiation, and others to be assessed. Obviously others that you would know what they are. And then if you're also at level 3, which is, if you're at level 3, you're probably going to get the grant, and which is higher confidence or more sophisticated in-orbit performance. So with this grant, this is very much a niche grant. So there's probably going to be only 10 players that will be applying for this. At the time that I've done this on the 19th of November, there have only been 7 downloads of or 6 downloads. I was the 7th download signing up for the grant application. So there's not going to be too many players. So if you're in this industry, you'll know who all the players are. A quick Google of who the players are. It's obviously going to be most of the major universities that are playing this space. So you're going to be competing against University of Sydney, obviously University of South Australia. Other Googling that I've found is ANU, obviously big player. ANU stands ready to support the new space agency. So they've already positioned themselves, which is a very good ploy to say, hey, we can do all this. So they're very much on the front foot. And you'd obviously know about the AITC as well. And then a bit more Googling, you've got Gilmore Space. And then if you look at what other grants have been awarded in the past for space, that's how I would sort of measure who would get this. And a lot of time when I think about who would get a grant, I start with who do I think would get the grant first, and I work back from that. So you need to already be in there in this industry doing it. So any startups are going to find it very hard to get a grant. The government is very low risk, so you need to be already doing this and be very capable in that. So Melbourne Uni is obviously playing in that space. Aiken is in there. Silentium Defence Trading, so they got $1.4 million. So they're certainly a big player. Whether that capability of what they're doing here extends to the payload, that's something that they would need to interpret. Human aerospace, almost $1 million. That's for a space, probably not payload. So anyone else that's getting payload or done something similar is who you're going to be competing against. But certainly, so it's anyone that's already got a grant and anyone that's one of the major universities. So I would say, around 10 organisations will be bidding for this. And so let's just go back to that side of it. So what you need to focus on is obviously there is the gap. Talk about how you have done this. So government, very low risk, they want to be sure you've already done it before. So if you can talk about research you've done around anything to do with level 2 or level 3, any results of the pyro shock, thermal vacuum, any of these testings and the others, if you can talk about others, I would definitely leverage off that side of it. I would also put some of this additional. You've only got 5,000 characters, so you've got to be very succinct in what you're saying. But also, there's an avenue to put more information into appendices into the project plan to leverage off that. So that is where you're going to be playing unique level 2 and or level 3. What you may do is if you think that you are like the second or third tier and you're competing against, there might be one standout organisation, is that you might partner together to help bring up both of your capabilities, which might be seen as a better offering than the main player. So leveraging off greater skills, and if you're putting in additional money, so that may help you as well. So that comes down to the third part. There's normally a value for money section in here, the need for funding, the broader national value of the project. So you may leverage off some other activities that you're also doing, and any additional investment in your project. So it's a small amount that will help, but having the skills already in that space under criteria 1 is what's going to win it. And if you gave me 10 minutes, I could probably Google who was going to be the winner just by seeing what is already in the market. So I've got some other information on how to write or break up these grant applications are identical for every sort of federal grant that comes out. So I've got some information on how to structure that, which I can send through to you. So send me an email, and also the financial modelling section. I've got a pretty good model, having done this exact same process every time. I've got a very simple model to how to project, what it's going to do for you and for Australia. So best of luck with the application. Feel free to leave any comments and I can respond to that where you find this. Will be on LinkedIn and YouTube. So good luck.